Hey there and welcome back. So in our last lesson, we covered scroll effects, animations and vector arts. Those things I mentioned that you can add to your site to really give it that extra wow. So now I'm going to take you through, as I promised, one more thing that's really going to add that wow factor to your site. And this is an interactive element called hoverboxes. So let's get started. What we'll do here is click Add. You're going to go down to Interactive, and then you can see a number of pre-arranged hoverboxes that we already have on the site. You can see here how they work. You hover over the box and something changes. In this case, the text in the boxes got larger. In this case here, you can see that the image changed to a different image when we hovered. These pre-made ones are really useful, as they're already there, so you don't have to do much work. You can just take them and add your content. In this case, let's take a look at our site and see what we can do with hover interactions. Cool. So we have some container boxes here, and I think these would be great to add hover interactions to. What you need to do is click the container box and click Hover Interactions. You'll see a pop-up that says Customize what happens when visitors hover on this element. So then click Get Started. Now we're in the hover view of the box, and this is where you can pretty much do anything that you want. In this case, we're going to choose an effect. So let's choose the Grow effect. Cool. Let's see what happens when I click play. So you can see that the box went from smaller and it grew to a little bit larger. Let's exit hover mode for this box and let's move across. We'll now add an interaction to this one. Click Hover Interactions, and again you'll see the same pop-up, and we're going to click Get Started. Okay, in this case, let's change something. So let's remove this text box that's currently here. Okay, so the text that was there, we've now hidden on hover. Let's also add an effect. In this case, we'll choose Shrink. So let's exit hover mode. We'll go to our last hover box, and in this one, let's go to Hover Interactions. Again, click Get Started. And you can see here that we're in hover mode. In this case, let's add some text. You can see that these are all the elements that you can add, but we will add some text. So let's go for heading 5. We'll pull it over and attach it to the box. We'll now double click the text and remove it, and let's change this text to say Bluetooth. Perfect. When you're done, you just click outside of it, and then we can decrease the size of the text box so it fits properly. Just pull it over to the right. Great. We'll also add a hover effect on this. So let's go choose effect, and let's pick skew. Cool. And then we exit hover view. Now that we've made our hover effect on these 3 boxes, I want to show you how you can copy and paste a container box and it will retain the hover factor. So let's take this one for example. We're going to press Command C and Command V. We're then going to drag this container box over to the left and attach it to the column on the left. We can see here that this already has hover interactions built in. So let's go to hover mode. You can see here that you can remove the interaction entirely, or you can edit the interaction. So let's edit. The Bluetooth text that we added to the box on the right is here, so let's delete it. And in this case, let's add an image to the box. Let's add this watch. Cool, the watch is a lot larger than the box, so let's make it smaller. Perfect, and let's attach it here to the box. Okay, now we've added all our hover interactions. Let's go to preview and see what they look like. Amazing, so let's click the one on the top left. You can see here that this box grew. On the top right, you can see that the box shrank and also the text has disappeared. In the bottom right, you can see the text was added and the box also skewed. And on the left, you can see that the image adds once we hover over the box. This is a really cool way and a different way to show your content. A great use of this would be, for example, if you have a team, you want to show their images and then you want to add text for when it's hovered. So let's say you have a teammate called Michael. Once you hover over his image, it will say Michael and it will give a short description about who Michael is. It's a great way to not have too much content on the page, but it's still there for your visitors to see once they hover. I think it's a pretty smart way to use the content and to use the Wix features. So in this lesson, we covered hoverboxes, and I think they're going to be really useful in terms of creating your site. In our next lesson, we're also going to look at another interactive element called lightboxes. They're also really great for grabbing your visitors' attention and for just adding that extra wow to your site. So I'll look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.